So my roommate is very high strung and very étrange. Um, Yesterday he called me racist, which is the most offensive thing, or one of the most offensive things you can call a Canadian citizen or anyone in Canada who's not racist. Um, Particularly because Canada, as a country, as a nation, it's a universal cultural thing, and I know that everyone argues about, well, what is Canadian, what is not Canadian, but a universal, absolute cultural thing in Canada is that we practice something called a cultural mosaic. It's different than the United States of America. So and again, like how that actually works varies by region, it varies by municipality, and so forth. But the national standard is we're supposed to be a cultural mosaic so that we welcome diversity. And so I was trying to explain to my less enlightened roommate, because he's not originally from Canada, that's how extremely offensive it is to call someone racist, especially a Canadian, when they're not racist. Especially when I've learned, like, spent like many hours learning Arabic and French, years and years, and those are his two languages. So it's just really offensive. He's also white. He's like more pale white than I am. So it's pretty offensive statement. And then I asked him, do you know anything about Canadian culture? Like, this, how offensive it is to say this to someone. And then he just went in the bathroom and closed the door and said he didn't understand, even though I was speaking in French. So, um, yeah, I just think that someone who's twice my age, maybe he's not quite twice my age, he's probably in his late 50s. And he's very high strung. He smokes a lot of marijuana, and he's very high stress. Like, he locks his food up in plastic bags with these locks, and he wraps them up and takes forever with like this huge keychain of all these different keys. So he's definitely convinced that someone's stealing his food or whatever. The real solution is to spend $50 and to buy a fridge and put it in your room. Anyway, I haven't been that offended in a long time. I think personally attacking someone, it's something that we do when we're children, and I know some adults do it, but, you know, I don't know. I guess just as a Canadian, Canadians love peace also, so it's just not something that I don't like to get into fights with people. And I think that if you're 50 something years old and you're hiding in your apartment in your room all day long and locking your food up and locking everything up, and maybe there's some other issues going on there, I don't really know. So he doesn't have a job, and he doesn't seem to have a social life. So I don't really know, but I'm not willing to move out because I have a really good deal on the rent and everything. So I think that hopefully he finds some other accommodation, because he's not really going to have, like, I don't really want to connect or socialize with someone like that. So he's going to be a really lonely person because I'm one of the only people that he ever interacts with in this apartment. I don't think he has any friends or anything. So really sad, really unfortunate when people get to that state. But anyway.